Okay, and the second problem, what we're dealing with is cash receipts budget. Primary source of that, of course, would be collection on sales. So first we would be starting with our budgeted sales number and go to the respective months of January, February, and March. February, and then March. And we have 80,000, 60,000, and 50,000 respectively. Now, ideally, what we would have, would be cash sales, and so the amount of cash sales of this component, we see that it said 70% of the sales are on credit, so that means that 30% must be cash. So we take 30% of that number, so 24,000 of January sales will be collected in January because these were cash sales. So now if we want to copy this formula over, we take the 30% and drag that over so that we see that that's 30% is explaining what's happening there. So that means our credit sales are going to be what follows this collection pattern that we see over to the, over in the stem of the question. So we have 56,000, 42, and 35 respectively that will need to address or follow the collection pattern that we see over in the question stem. So when we're looking at receipts for March, we could be looking at, so from January sales, February, and March. So we already know that March is going to have 15,000 of collections or cash receipts from March sales. So now it's just a matter of determining how much of each different month will be collected in March. So in other words, how much from January will be collected in March, how much in February will be collected from March. So we sort of have to work backward on this in that the company collects 60% of its credit sales in the month following sale. So for the February sales, this 60% would be the number that we would use. 60% of February's credit sales will be collected in March. So we need to take the 60% of the 42,000 from February to see that that would be collected in March. And then, of course, we have the 35% is in the second month, so that would be 35% of January's credit sales. So we take 35% of January's credit sales of 56,000. So we would have our collections here of 19,600 from January, 25,200 from February, and 15,000 from March. That is the cash sales from March. So the expected cash receipts for March would be the sum of these three. Or 59,800.